El Pasoans if they know the difference between civil rights and civil liberties. Okay, so what is the difference between civil rights and civil liberties?
Civil rights are probably like rights we have against us, and civil liberty. What'd you say? Like civil what?
Liberties.
Like laws?
What they would do is they would be physically punished and not allowed overall to speak Spanish in the United States.
Hablar español en mi escuela lo quería. Si a mí no me dejan hablar español en mi escuela, haría lo mismo que en Walkup, que haría una huelga.
Arizona when I was very young, and why I didn't speak any English. And now it's crazy because like I speak English better than I do Spanish. But yeah, it definitely like Phoenix is so much different than El Paso. I feel like people here don't really realize what it's like to be an immigrant because it's so easy for them to like, if I go to a business, I can demand they speak to me in Spanish and they will. But it's so different in Phoenix. Like I said, this was less than 15 years ago that I was in Arizona, and you know, I was just a kid. I was in elementary school, and the teachers would just straight out say, you know, you're in America now, like stop speaking Spanish. And it's not like here in El Paso where everyone speaks Spanish. Like I had friends that were Mexican or Mexican American, and we both knew we spoke Spanish, but we never spoke Spanish to each other, just because like that rule, I guess, was so implemented to us.
But there was no physical punishment, right?
No.
At all.
Well, like you would get yelled at, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, and I've never been much of a rule breaker, so I would just kind of agree to that. I feel like in a way, people like, well, back then, like those teachers, I feel like they did have a right to say that because that is the language of this country. But the thing is that I wasn't speaking Spanish to her. I was speaking Spanish to my classmates.
Yeah.
We were speaking like in, you know, like in our intimacy, in our privacy. And I feel like now that I'm older, now that I know how to defend myself more with issues like that, I don't think that it was right for her to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like her motive wasn't to help me learn English. Her motive was to just kind of take that away from me.
Yeah.
I don't know about, you know, immigrants here in El Paso are so much different. Like they're still so connected to their Mexican roots.
Yeah.
But I feel like
So you feel like she was violating your civil rights practically?
the thing is that I wasn't really sure that I had any civil rights. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still an immigrant.
Yeah.
I can't just come here and just be doing whatever I want. Like I'm still in a foreign country.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the answer you were looking for.
That's like perfect. Like
Si yo no pudiera hablar mi idioma en una escuela, si me castigarían, me sentiría muy encerrado, no me sentiría yo, no me pudiera hablar mi idioma en una escuela, si me castigarían, me sentiría muy encerrado, sentiría que no me podía expresar, no pudiera ser mi persona con los demás y no me conocerían por lo que yo soy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
okay. So right now we are driving to another location in El Paso, and this is to keep asking people questions on their civil rights and civil liberties, and if they do know the difference, which at the beginning we didn't. After watching the movie, it actually changed our minds of how we feel.
We like
and-
learned a lot from it.
Yeah, we learned a lot from it, and it's surprising because we're Hispanics and there's things that we didn't know about until we watched the movie.
I feel like because El Paso is so diverse and like there's like a lot of Hispanics here, and like I mean there's different races, that's why we don't really see it a lot. And
I myself don't think of racism much because I grew up in El Paso and we hardly see racism here. We do have it, but honestly I've never experienced it before. So watching the movie really opened my eyes on the racism and discrimination and violation of rights that these Hispanics went through back in the day. And we learned from people's experiences how they are still being violated not even that long ago, huh?
yeah, it's really like crazy to think that it wasn't even, I mean, like a long time ago that this was happening. I don't know, I feel like this, I mean, maybe people do experience it in El Paso, but not as much as in other places where there's not much diversity, you know?
Yeah. So what would you do? Let me ask you that.
Okay.
What would you do if you were in the position, like in Paula's position, and keep in mind that her father did not agree with her fighting?
Honestly, I would speak up because I feel that's the only way you're gonna make a difference. Even if it was just like me and another person, like as long as I had someone else that supported me and like my idea, I feel like I would get a group of people too and like go from there, you know? Peaceful protest or like, I mean, not necessarily like go extreme, but if I had to take those measures, I would, because I mean, you have to start somewhere to make a difference, you know?
Yeah, and then we can also see in the movie the police brutality they went through. I mean, they were facing really brutal punishments, and all these students, all these underage students were getting beat up, and it takes a lot to do that. Okay, so we're gonna stop here. Shoes of the student, how would you react if you have protested?
If I was in the shoes of the student, I probably would have protested. Well, not probably, I would have protested, just because for the fact that if you don't protest, then you won't get nowhere. Like, for example, so because they protested, you know, now they were able to go to college. They were able to gain their rights. So if I was in their shoes, I probably would. I mean, I would have protested.
Okay, and do you believe they did the right thing? And as a Hispanic student, have you ever felt discriminated yourself?
I do believe they did the right thing, and I actually have been discriminated, but not as a student, you know, just as a human. You know, I think everybody has been judged before, and you know, if it takes for me to protest to get my right, then I will.
Okay. And in the movie, who do you think were the students' opponents?
I would probably say the police and the government.
If you were in the shoes of the students, how would you react? Would you have protested?
I think being a minority, like being a Hispanic, it puts you in a position like you're like, you want to do something, but at the same time like you're kind of scared. But I would have protested, because like you want to do a difference to the community and like show people like just because you're a minority doesn't mean like you can just be pushed around and just be someone put aside, because like at the end of the day you're still like a human being. You're still like, you're as equal as a white person, an African American, a Native American, like whoever. Like it doesn't matter who you are, like we're all humans. So yeah, I would have protested.
Okay. And as a Hispanic student, have you ever felt discriminated in any way?
I would say yes. Like there's a lot of racist people, so like eventually I think not only minorities, but I think like I just think overall people just get discriminated. Doesn't depend like who you are.
Have you ever encountered yourself with a situation like this?
Yes, I've been.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about it?
It's just like racism in between like languages, because they don't like us speaking our own language, because most of the time they think that we're talking a lot of crap about them, and they feel, I don't know, like they're in the bad situation. Like they don't like that foreign language around them. It doesn't matter what language it is. They don't like it as long as you're not speaking. Like you have to speak English in order to be around the white people.
Protestar que los derechos humanos son universales y no tenemos por qué permitir que nuestros derechos sean pisoteados por gente que diga que somos mexicanos, ¿verdad? O que somos chinos o somos japoneses, o que tenemos que hablar. Si estamos legalmente en un país, ¿verdad? Y de alguna manera estamos aquí contribuyendo a su crecimiento, pues no tenemos por qué ser menospreciados en nuestros derechos, ¿verdad? Que son los derechos humanos y que hoy en día a nivel mundial han sido reconocidos como parte de la vida misma de los seres humanos. O sea, eso se nace ya, esos derechos nacen con el hombre mismo, con la persona misma.